Why is your mind your best friend or your worst enemy? The past couple of days, I've been struggling with trying to get my podcast going, not because I didn't have plenty of ideas to talk about, but because I kept having problems with my equipment. I bought a podcasting setup and I couldn't get the microphone to work. I kept trying and trying and couldn't get the microphone to have enough volume to be able to hear anything. And so I thought, well, I certainly can't do a video without a proper microphone, right? And the whole time I was using this set of headphones to interact with the sound mixer. And I knew that it had a really cheapy little microphone here. And I didn't want to use it because I had a microphone specifically for the purpose that's supposed to be a fairly high quality one, but it just didn't put out any volume. No matter what I did, I added some pro through OSB Studio. I added a few things like the gain, and I changed the gain, and I changed the percentage of the input sound and all kinds of different things. And I kept getting the level higher and higher, but it introduced all kinds of noise and it wouldn't work. So I thought, well, until I figure this out, there's no way I could start a podcast. And that was what my limiting factor was. I also was having problems with my phone. I couldn't get the phone to work properly, and then the microphone on my phone wasn't working quite right. So I thought, well, I certainly can't do a video because of that. Then finally, I decided I'm going to go ahead and use this cheap microphone because it seems to kind of work. And then I did a video, and then I sounded like a teenager asking a girl out to the prom. It was just absolutely atrocious, and I didn't understand why because I'm normally very comfortable talking, but for some reason, my mind had to find some reason why I couldn't do a podcast. So, in this episode, I'm going to explore a little bit as to why we keep coming up with these reasons why we can't do something. What we are hardwired to do in life is to find all the things that can go wrong. We're masters of it. One of the things that my idol Ram Dass used to say is that, um, how did he put it? The mind is a wonderful servant, but a terrible master. So, what does that mean? It means that if you use your mind kind of in the background to figure things out, it does a great job of it. But if you let your mind take over and decide what's going to go wrong, then you're certainly going to find it because that's what we're hardwired to do. Back in thousands and thousands of years ago, when we didn't have the modern technology that we do today, it was a very real threat every day that you face because you might be attacked by a predator or you won't be able to find food. And so our mind is constantly checking and searching and avoiding kinds of things that are going to be dangerous. And today, now that we don't have the dangers, we go out of our way to try and find dangers, like putting obstacles in front of us because, oh, gee, this could go wrong. This is terrible. I can't possibly have that happen. So, one of the people that I study is Michael Singer, and he's wonderful at teaching us that we need to just kind of let go. All right. If you let go and then you forget about all the things that could go wrong, that you'll find out that things are going to go right just because we're in this world on this earth to just experience. And we judge whether or not the experiences we have are good or bad. But if we just take everything as an experience, then you can never really go wrong. If we're just here to experience, then anything that happens is an experience, and an experience that you put a judgment as whether it's good or bad, as long as it's not causing you pain, and we're really, really great at avoiding pain, and instead of trying to look for things that make us happy. So if you decide that anything that happens makes you happy, and the times that you have pain, well, it's going to teach you something, right? And so everything, if you frame everything as something is an experience, then even if you find pain and you go, oh, well, I didn't really like that, I'm going to learn not to do that one again. But really in life, how many times does that ever happen? We assign pain, judgment of pain from an experience that we think is terrible. Like if you break up with someone, then you think, oh gosh, this is so terrible. My life is, I'm depressed. I'll never find someone again. But really, what's going on is that we've decided that that experience of pain is something that's so terrible we don't want to go through again. But really, it's just something that we experience and we learn from the situation and we realize, well, I don't want to do that again. If we tie ourselves into something like relationships, and our whole life depends on whether or not we're happy in the relationship, then we're bound to suffer. If you let go of the ego and decide that everything that happens is just an experience, you can't really go wrong. If you decide that everything's going to make you happy unless it causes you physical pain, then it's very simple to live your life and always be happy. One of the ways that's really easy to do that is through meditation, which is one of the things I talk about in my book, The 7 Habits for Winning at Life. So these are the topics that I'm going to be discussing in this channel. So if you think that you'd like to explore this journey with me, like and subscribe. And remember, tell a friend.